Dun 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 dun. Blam, blam. Dun 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 dun. You're watching the Flex Crazy Fun News Hour, and my phone alarm is ringing for 9:15 because that's when I thought I would wake up, but I'm already awake, and I am talking to you, playing some steep. Look at me doing pretzes. I'm so cool. What's up? Alright, so as you see from the title of this here stream, I'm going to be talking about Summer Anime 2021. Um, not gonna lie, I'm always skeptical of Gigguk's videos because they always start out like, "Oh, I didn't notice anything new on the anime this anime season," and then he's like, "Oh wait, there is a lot of anime this anime season." But I think this season he might actually be kind of fucked because every other season that he's started out his videos saying that, it's like I'm sitting back thinking this is a stacked season. It's like, what are you talking about? He said like the a couple seasons ago when Yuru Camp came back and like a bunch of other shit was going on, like it was a really good season. He started out that video by saying, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be a dry season this year." It's like, oh, it's not. It's a stacked season, but this season is actually kind of fucked. It's not very good. Um, the only so sequels are always going to be like the top ones on AnyChart. If you go to anychart.net and look at the summer 2021 anime, the top two seem to be sequels. They're the second seasons. Um, and then, oh yeah, no, that's the third one is also. Um, and number four most popular just seems to be some really not good harem anime. That's Tante wa mo Shinderu. Doesn't seem that interesting to me. Honestly, not a lot of these seemed all that good to me at all. Um, Number six most popular is Vanitas no Katra by Bones. Um, it seems like it's a vampire anime about. I actually, I actually have no idea. There's been just a contingent of vampire anime that kind of go unseen. Um, I might go back to Mars Red. Mars Red has been premiering this season in spring 2021, but I might go back to it because it was kind of an interesting like drama, thriller, mystery, kind of psychological. So that was pretty cool. It's always nice to see something in the vampire genre that's taking that as like a soft vampire motif instead of like sometimes when you get vampire shit and it's like all churches and crosses and all that like over the top vampire aesthetic. Mars Red wasn't that so much. It was almost like a 1920s gritty crime drama that also just happened to involve vampires. It's pretty good. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm not really uh, excited for any vampire things coming up because they're all kind of just um, pretty mid. They all tend to have like different takes on situations, but all pretty mid. I'm trying to get over this rail again. Because I watched the clip back and I jumped over the rail to get into the bed of the truck, and then that somehow jumped me up to the bus. I want. Ah, ah. Oh. All right, so let's see. So Vanitas no Kart is number 6, and that premieres in 7 days, 23 hours. So that's gonna be your Friday anime next Friday. Um, Next is a couple of weird ecchis. Oh, this is one. This is one that I was really excited for. It's called Shiroi Suna no Aquatope. Um, it's just it's direct. It's not like light novel or manga based. It's fully original source, and it's about like this girl who goes uh, and works at this aquarium, and there's something mysterious going on in the aquarium, and like with its, I don't know, with the fish in the aquarium, or maybe one of the employees is also like a fish man or something like that. It just seems like it's really well done. It's by PA Works. That's Shiroi Suna no Aquatope. Maybe if I click on it, I can see the English name. Let's see. It's 13th most popular for. Oh, no, wait. I don't know where I saw the number 13. It's ninth most popular. I'm stupid, guys. I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm not seeing uh, an English name for it, but Shiroi Suna no Aquatope. The anime takes place at Gama Gama Aquarium, a small aquarium in Okinawa. An hour's bus ride from Naha. 18-year-old high school student who works there, uh, and she knows about the secret of the aquarium. Secret is in quotations. Like I said, it seems really good. I always have high hopes for original source stuff. Um, and right after it, so that's ninth on popularity, 10th on popularity, Sunny Boy. It says that's coming out in 21 days. Weirdly enough, though, on my anime pirating website, I got an episode of Sunny Boy. It showed up, and I was like, "What?" Because that was one that I saw on the roster for this season, and was like, "That's interesting." Um, and I thought it was interesting, honestly, just based on um, the animation. I thought it was a little bit more old school, and that intrigued me. Wow, now I'm not seeing it. That's crazy. I'm looking through my anime pirating website, gogoanime.2, or something. Yeah, just pirate this shit. Oh yeah, there it is, Sunny Boy. Yeah, and I got it like 2 days ago, and it says on AnyChart that it is not gonna be there for like a few days. I mean, not a few, not even few, several days, 3 weeks even. And it's good. It's really good. I think it's really just. It has that old school sort of like hand drawn feel all throughout it. Um, and yeah, just like it's so interesting, just the entire premise. So it's like the high school is just like, regular high school until just one day it just pops out of existence. The high school just goes into a different plane of existence. It's like, and I guess all like the teachers are dead, but the students are alive, and they're just like, there's like 30-ish students left who are all just kind of like figuring out why the hell their high school was transported to this murky black abyss, just this different state of existence. So it's like it's weird at that level already, but then also they have very interesting superpowers that they don't explicitly say, which I really like. Because, like, we all love our shonen anime of, let's scream out our superpower as we're using it. I like how in Boku no Hero they actually came up with an explanation for that. They actually said, we do not want our heroes to be mysteries. We want our heroes to shine brightly, and we want the world to know their superpowers and know their exact strengths as like a solidarity thing. So that's why all the superheroes like shout out the names of their attacks as they're doing them as like a show of solidarity. So I thought that was smart to actually incorporate a reason as to why uh, they're doing that dumbass shit. And it's like the only smart thing that My Hero has ever done, except for Togata. Togata was like he has no collisions. It's the best superpower. It's like you're playing Oblivion on the PC, and it's just like you hit. I can't remember how you enter in like the cheats. I think you enter in like tab, and then TCL or TLC, and it just turns the collisions off. And then you can just fly up in the air. You can go through the ground. It's awesome. I don't think Mirio Togata can go through the air with his no collisions, but I do think having just like, ooh, that power would be sick. I guess in a way he's kind of like Senior Pink, but a little bit more powerful. Although Senior Pink doesn't have any stipulations with how difficult his power was to control. With Senior Pink, it just seems like he has the swim fruit, and when he wants to swim, he does. And that's just how it happens. He seems very effortless in his power, whereas Togata is the exact opposite. Senior Pink from One Piece, by the way. In case you're a fucking noob. God, I used to be a person who didn't watch One Piece and thought it was weird just because, the character designs are weird and their powers are all weird. Um, just know that if you do think that you're, I was going to say wrong, but kind of correct. One Piece is a little weird. But it is the best story ever told, so you kind of should be in tune with that. It's, it's like it's been going on for forever. It's like, why do you think One Piece is almost 25 years old? Is it because it's bad? Do you think One Piece is bad and it lasted 25 years? I mean, that might be where your head is at because you watched season 25 of The Simpsons and realized that anything that lasts 25 years in America is dog shit. But no, over there things last a long time due to actual merit. And sometimes they're Naruto. It's like the reason Naruto in my mind isn't as good as I once thought it was. I have a Konoha tattoo on my chest because I believe in the Leaf Village. I do not believe in the United Shinobi Alliance or whatever. It's bullshit. I wear the Confederate flag of Naruto. I wear it proudly on my chest because that's when Naruto was good. It's like a lot of people um, will criticize Togashi for his long hiatuses and just like, ending the whole series of Hunter x Hunter, ending the animated series on the fact that as an author, as a writer, he was done with Gon's arc. Gon's arc is done. It's weird to say that about a shonen anime, but our protagonist is no longer the protagonist of what Togashi wants to do. That's just not his thing. He's not going to sustain this character that he has felt he made a good literary end to. And actually, as I've watched uh, New World Review, New World Waifu, Grand Line Waifu, she has very astute observations on the emotional motivations of all the characters and how Gon's journey is so. I mean, of course it's naive, but he is so flawed and almost like selfish. And then you turn around and see Killua, who has constantly sacrificed everything for this ideal friendship that was promised through Gon. And then Gon is just ready to throw everything away. Throw everything. Like, not even just his Nen, right? Like, because that, he doesn't know what he's sacrificing. He doesn't know at all what he's sacrificing. He could have been sacrificing his damn life. And he wouldn't care. He would still kill Pito. That's how messed up his revenge was. He was a messed up character. And I think that's why Togashi saw that as Gon's literary end. The change from the pure innocent Gon to this vengeful beast that would stop at nothing to just tear something limb from limb because it hurt him. Whew. It's bad, dude. It's bad the way that Gon went, but like also it's nuts that like if Oda or I forget who writes the other one sometimes. I'm sorry. If a normal shonen anime author or a manga author, mangaka, were to see their character going down that path, they'd be like, oh, my character needs to have a sea change. My character needs to see that such and such is a better way of living than what they've been doing. They need to have a come to Jesus moment. Like Asta. Asta in Black Clover! Yes! Asta in Black Clover has a lot of these sort of like trials and tribulations moments, but he combats that by just I think actually that's maybe the opposite of what I was saying of having a sea change, because Asta is already like your ideal try hard character. I think he does accomplish that maybe even a little bit better than Naruto does, because at a certain point Naruto is just being a little biatch about Sasuke all the time, and it's like, I want to be the Hokage, but also you're my friend. It's like, shut the fuck up about your friend. Just be the Hokage. And I think Black Clover, by eliminating that rivalry, has like just really streamlined what is good about shonen anime. And it's not like petty arguments between Naruto and Sasuke that eventually lead to like Sasuke actually defecting. I mean, it was a funny character trait for them to bicker, right? And then Sasuke actually defects because he's an edgelord like that? No. Like, think where we are in Black Clover is we just found out that Yuno is actually the Prince of the Spade Kingdom. And that's actually interesting because it's not just, that doesn't just mean that, oh, bam, Yuno is automatically an antagonist now, just like Sasuke. Because there was mad Sasuke vibes from Yuno from the beginning, because Yuno and Asta would always argue, just like Sasuke and Naruto. But from the beginning, they both had the drive to be the Wizard King. That's something that Sasuke didn't touch on until the last, 30, 40 chapters. It's like, dude, you can't just switch sides during the final battle and be like, I'm on your side now, and I'm gonna rule you one day. I want to be the Hokage. Like, no! Ass. We shouldn't have given Sasuke, like, any good treatment after that. I don't know. And I guess he became, like, the Donzo, which is good. Because, like, obviously the Hokage has to be someone that's not a butthurt edgelord all the time. Which is why my boy Shikamaru apparently couldn't be. I don't think Kakashi should have been. I think by that time Kakashi was aged out of it, maybe. And because like Kakashi's powers, this might be me misremembering, but I felt like Kakashi's powers the whole time were supposed to be degrading. Like every time he used Kamui, he was supposed to be like getting like fucked up. I don't know if him and Obito fixed that by the end, or if like Obito gave him his other eye. Is this is this ah man, is this completely wrong? I don't know. I have the Naruto tattoo. I should know. Um, but yeah, everything after the Pain arc was just not very good. And I think if it had just ended with the Pain arc, then I would remember it as fondly as I remember Hunter x Hunter. But instead, we got the whole war afterwards, and we also got like the reincarnation that was happening. Um, and then like Naruto and Sasuke had like a big fight at the very end. Oh yeah, and they become like gods at a certain point, like literal like they get markings on their hand, which means they have like literal god powers to fight Kaguya, who was not the right villain in the end. Orochimaru should have been the final villain of Naruto because he actually was like villainous, you know? Kaguya wasn't villainous in any way. She was a neutral force that just wanted destruction for no reason. She really didn't have any plans. My man Orochimaru was making plans since the very first goddamn season. And he didn't get anything for that. For all those plans, Sasuke just like casually kills him during the final battle. It's like, no. It's like swatting a fly away. It's like, fuck off, Orochimaru. But he was the man putting in all the work. Ah, pisses me off. It is fun to go back and watch any Naruto that's Pain arc and before, though. Like, I watched Jiraiya versus Pain a couple weeks ago. That was real nice. Jiraiya versus Pain is like a long and smart battle. Very fun. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, we were going down Annie chart. And I'm trying to parse out what some of these titles are. 100 Man no Inochi no Ue ni Ore Tateru 2. I don't. The 100. It says 100. Is this Mob Psycho 100? It looks like. I don't. 100 Man. What is 100 Man? Maybe it's by the same people as Mob Psycho and One Punch Man? I mean, that's kind of. One Punch Man is done by different people, I think, than Mob Psycho. It's just. I don't know if it's the manga production that's the same, or I do not. Do not take my word as gospel on this. What else was good? Oh, yeah, Remain by Mappa. Mappa is doing another sports anime, this time water polo, and it's called Remain. I think this is the only sports one this season, if I'm not mistaken. I'm primarily a sports anime fan. I will watch pretty much any sports anime that comes out. Except for I didn't watch Goodbye Kramer. Um, I might hit that one up. It didn't look bad, but usually the soccer ones just have a level of animation that is just not cared about. I think, like, because when you look at Haiku, the volleyball, and then any other anime that has to do with volleyball afterwards, looks good, right? But then you look at Captain Tsubasa. Captain Tsubasa looks like dog shit, and then the standard for any other like soccer anime just goes way way down. But at a quick glance, that is really all I have for this summer 2021 anime season. Is Shiroi Suna no Aquatope, about the aquarium, by PA Works. That's an original source, meaning that it is not manga or light novel sourced. Oh, and I just noticed that about Sunny Boy too. Sunny Boy is another one that I'm watching. Superpower sci-fi based, and that is also original sourced. I really like the animation in Sunny Boy. It's kind of old school, very minimalist at times, but also using technology and stuff like that to its highest benefit. It's really nice, really good, interesting start to it. On AniChart, it says that Sunny Boy does not premiere for another 21 days, but I have been able to access it on GoGo Anime, the first episode at least. So go ahead and steal your anime. Don't give Funimation or Crunchyroll any money, because they suck. I mean, how much money do you think they're actually giving animators anyways? It's it's a corporation. They're probably assholes. So Shiroi Suna no Aquatope, Sunny Boy. Did I skip right over to Remain? Is there anything else besides that? Peach Boy Riverside. What is that about? Princess of the Kingdom of Alderake dreams of traveling the world. A dangerous dream in a land where monsters roam the countryside. That seems very high fantasy, and I'm not so into that. Um, a spin-off, more sequels. Yeah, this season sucks. I'm excited for Remain and more Sunny Boy. Shiroi Suna no Aquatope seems also good. We're gonna still be getting Boku no Hero. We're still getting My Hero Academia. Um, that's gonna be leftovers. And same with To Your Eternity. I'm only on episode like 4 or 5 of To Your Eternity. That's one that I kind of put on the back burner. If I find one that's like really good, and I know that everyone's going to be talking about it, I'll kind of just put that on the back burner, because I know I'll get to it eventually, and I'll try to watch something that's a little bit less watched. Right now, that less watched one for me is Kestis, Roman Fighter. It is on the face, it's got to be my favorite anime, right? Because I love sports anime. It's about boxing, and I love historical fiction, and it's about Roman gladiators fighting. Like historical fiction is such a big, oh, it's so good. The only like actually well done one is Golden Kamuy though. It's like, why is historical fiction so hard to find? And I love it so much. I don't know why. But of course, Kestis Roman Fighter is kind of mid. It uses CG in the fights, and the CG in the fights is fine. There is a precedent for that. Like Baki exists, and Baki was pretty well done for what it was. But this one it just forgets when it's supposed to not. It like just a person talking should not be CG. Two or three people walking next to each other, no, the CG is too noticeable. If you have like a full crowd of people walking, then CG is like, okay, that's just a full crowd of people. I'm not going to pay attention to that. If it's in the middle of the fight and you need to have those more like you need to have that 3D range of the motion of this the computer generated image, then I completely understand that. It makes for better fight choreography. But when you're just doing it in places where there should be 3 or 4 frames drawn. So, um, yeah, and instead of watching good anime like To Your Eternity and Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that, I'm watching Kestis, Roman Fighter. I tried also watching Joran and the Snow White Notes. No, wait, Joran. No, those Snow White Notes I have been watching. Joran and the Song of Ice and Blood, I think is the name of it. It's about an assassin girl. But I kind of fell off for that one because, yeah, Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood. That one's okay. I think I prioritized Burning Karabati because Burning Karabati comes out the same day, and I love sports anime, guys. I'll say it again, sports anime rules. Even it's about a sport that no one knows or cares about, like the 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 sport is called kabaddi, right? And it's like this weird like fusion of tag and wrestling, and the person who's it, right? So one person is it and trying to tag these other people, and the person who's it has to chant kabaddi, 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 kabaddi without taking a breath in, and that's like their timer. They chant as their timer. So like the better you are at chanting and holding your breath, the longer of a turn you get to take. It's kind of busted. Like this one guy is a swimmer, so he's like, "Yeah, I can hold my breath for like 3 minutes, dog." He's just like saying kabaddi forever. He's a swimmer, so he has long ass arms. Fun show, and it's also like a cool it's this cool sport because it blends like a lot of different techniques and like styles of sportsmanship. What the hell happened? My goodness. I was blasted off that thing. But yeah, it's like a sport where a lot of different physicalities can be like advantageous. Unlike, basketball, you want to be the tall guy, obviously. You don't want to be short. But in this like sport, maybe having a lower center of gravity would behoove you. Would behoove you. Behoove you, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Also, Subarashiki Kono Sekai, that video game that I never played. They have an anime now, which it's like, I still kind of want to play the game, but it's just hard to because it's for the DS. And I actually have two DSs sitting right next to me, so I could go out and find it. I could go out and find the game and play Subarashiki Kono Sakai, but like, what DS? Playing the DS? Are you kidding me? Like really? I did it ironically in high school. I was always too cool for that. And I remember like my friends also were like getting the 3DS and showing me their new Pokemon and feeding their Pokemon puffins. It's like, whoa, dude, it's 3D. It hurts my eyes so bad. It's fucking awesome. It's so stupid. The DS was a dumb invention, and I mainly used it to play emulators or like remasters of old Final Fantasy games. Like Final Fantasy IV was super fun on the DS. What else did I play on the DS? I might have played a Pokemon. None of them where I had to feed it fucking puffins. Man, they need to calm down. It's just like my mom keeps on buying things that have Grogu on it. It's like, stop. Baby Yoda is just like money in their pockets. It doesn't have to be a good show at all. It might be. I didn't watch this stupid thing because it's not for that. The show wasn't for being good. The show was made to make money off of idiots who buy Grogu. Stop buying Grogu. Shirts don't cost $25. Stop buying Grogu. That shirt costs 20 cents to make because it's a poorly made shirt by a evil corporation known as Disney. It's not good. Well, no matter how good it isn't good. Do you see what I am saying? It's not good was not part of their equation when making the show. Money was part of their equation when making the show, and they got a lot of it off idiots like my mom. Sorry, Mom. You bought too many Grogus. I'm sick of all the Grogus, Mom. You're giving your money to evil. I remember I went to Hot Topic with my friend once. We were just looking to browse. And as we were leaving, like, the gal at the stand says to my friend, like, hey, you look like you like Star Wars. It's like, what do you mean? Are you saying my friend looks like she's dumb? Are you saying my friend is dumb and buys merchandise from an evil corporation? Well, she did. She bought a sun visor for her car that was poorly made for $20. You can go and buy the fanciest sun visor you can on Amazon. You can buy the next generation of sun visor for your car for much less than $20 probably, but just because it has Han Solo on it, dumbasses are going to spend $20 on it. Also, sorry to my friend. She's my hairdresser, and she got swindled in that one instance. She got duped. I told her immediately afterwards too. It's like, why do you think this random cash register lady is just calling you out and saying, yeah, you like Star Wars? It's like, also, you don't work on commission, you dumb bitch. Why are you selling people crap? You work at Hot Topic. Just like be cynical and say, oh yeah, everything here sucks except the Invader Zim t-shirts. I only buy Invader Zim t-shirts and then use them as tampons. I wrap them in hemp and then shove them up my pussy. And that's maybe Miss Spencer's Gifts person. That's also like, I don't know. I like thinking of those people as like liberated autists. They're just like, I have mental illnesses and I shove t-shirts of Invader Zim in my pussy and that's my business. You don't have to suffer with mental illness like I do. You don't ever think about shoving Invader Zim t-shirts in your pussy. You don't have to think about stuff like that because you're a cisgendered normie. You're just like a neurotypical person. You don't understand what I have to go through having to be mentally ill. Woo! Woo! Hitting the lamp. I have not gotten into the bed of the truck yet. I'm trying to do what I did yesterday and get from, or 2 days ago. 2 days. I didn't feel like playing video games yesterday. Sometimes I just don't. But sometimes you just don't feel like playing video games. Instead, you fucking watch some TV and take a nap. Took a long nap yesterday. One of those where it's like, I didn't have anything to do, right? But I fell asleep for so long that I woke up and I was like, shit! I was like, there's got to be something I'm fucking up. I can't take a 4-hour nap and not have it backfire in some way. What did I do wrong? I guess I've skipped lunch. I didn't eat anything yesterday until I had freezer pizza. Freezer pizza, I don't know why we keep going cheap, man. I mean, it's a freezer pizza, and I don't know. Anything you actually get in those boxes are bad. And my dad goes to Sam's Club enough. Just pick up a couple Sam's Club pizzas. I mean, I know we are subverting expectations for some reason by doing Sam's Club instead of Costco, and the crust on Sam's Club is bad. It's just bad. It's just like almost the same slice of pizza, Sam's Club to Costco, except Sam's Club just decided to make the crust just bad. It's just like, let's make the crust perpendicular to the rest of the pizza, and also, let's not spread it with any butter or herbs or anything. They can just eat shit. Costco gives you a nice, the fluffier crust with the, I think it has the Parmesan and herb crumble on it. It's good crust. I don't know why Sam's Club just chose to just not do that. What is it, Cece? My little kitty wants to go outside. Hey there, Cece. Can you give a meow to the stream? Okay, she's not giving a meow. Oh, yeah, it's raining, Cece. You don't want to go out there. Oh, no. She's going right under my car. Yep. Yeah, raining. It was really unexpected because, like, we're in a drought in Utah, and also it's been like 100 degrees. I fucking hate people here. I fucking hate people in Utah. It's like all winter they will bitch about it being too cold. You live in between mountains, you idiot. It's like, live somewhere else. And then for like a week they are ecstatic. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's summer again! I love the summer! It looks beautiful today!" And then like after that week, it goes to 100 and they all stay inside again and like crank their fucking AC. It's these people are stupid. They don't know where they want to live. They just want to live by other Mormons. Fucking idiots. Yeah, it's like 1 week out of the year these people are satisfied. And every other sort of weather condition they're fucking complaining. It's weird how they complain so much about the weather, something they cannot control, and yet all of them will forgo their vacation time. They will work 50 hours a week just because they feel like it should be the thing that they're doing. They feel like whatever task is at hand should be done. I really need to go someplace where the work-life balance is considered, at least. Like, if I work 30 hours a week, like, that's a normal ass person in, like, France, or like Wales or something, somewhere where, like, cool people live. But here, it's like 30 hours a week. Why aren't you working full time? You're lazy. Especially in Utah. Everyone in Utah works their asses off. I mean, aside from the fact that what I do is literally nothing, it's like, okay, I guess I could be, like, logging in more hours just for no reason? Because that's what my boss seems to do. I don't know where my boss finds 40 hours a week to work. There is nothing that we do. We're a two-man team that does nothing anymore. We edit some videos and we set up some meetings. That's it. We need to be there in case something goes wrong in those meetings. So we just log in. Hey, I was there for 8 hours, so I guess I worked an 8-hour day. So I don't know. And it seems like half the time when my boss is there, he's spending it bullshitting with people. He's talking to people. He's just like, "Hey, Eugene, how you doing?" We'll talk to that person just about not work for forever. Yeah, Utah's a weird place. It's run by the Mormons. Old people are just been given spoonfuls of opiates that is subsidized by the Mormon Church. The pharmaceutical companies are subsidized by the Mormon Church to exploit these old people and their universal insurance. It's meant to exploit them and get money so they can just keep a section of society low-key addicted to painkillers. And then it's like, oh, I wonder why there's a fentanyl crisis everywhere, and especially in Salt Lake. It's because we're giving it to them. They were straight up just giving them fentanyl. The pharmaceutical companies don't care what they give people as long as they get money for what they give them. So it's like, okay, the pharmaceutical companies run by the Mormon Church in Utah say, oh, we're just going to get our opiates from this sketchy source 1 or 2 times. And that's how you get people, like, dying from overdoses on fentanyl. Like, things, fucking, what's that, it's whatever, it's like the anti-overdosing EpiPen. It's like the thing that they shoved into Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction. Like, I saw a billboard for that. I saw a billboard for anti-overdosing drugs. It's like, just in case your doctor gave you too much fentanyl, you can stop your overdose by buying more drugs that are supposed to be for junkies. Hey, old people, you are now literally addicted to painkillers and you need something in case you overdose. It's ridiculous. Utah's a bad place. I can get a green card now. I can maybe look into that, but that's I feel like getting a green card now wouldn't be cool. I've been going. My weed dealer has been one of my best friends since I was 4 years old, and now he just happens. We used to deal weed together back when we were in the dorms, and I kind of. I didn't really have the gumption for it. I wasn't keeping up with contacts and whatnot, but yeah, he was always finding new people just to like sell little bits of weed to, and it was always kind of funny because it's like he just had that kind of personality of like he was that guy working. He was like a busboy at a restaurant for a while, and then just like a couple of like 35, 40-year-old dudes were like, You got weed? This like 20-year-old kid. And then like, yeah. And then here we are, like 4 or 5 years later. He's still dealing to those people, his old coworkers. And like I said, like we've been friends since we were like 4 years old. If I stopped buying weed from him, that'd be like, hey man. I do buy supplemental shit though. It's like it's not like he has Kratom. I buy Kratom online, obviously. If he had Kratom, I think I would still buy Kratom online because it's pretty damn easy and it's it's bougie shit. I buy bougie Kratom. I'm not skimping on my fucking Kratom because like the low grade shit will sometimes have aluminum shavings in it. So you get like this baggie full of sawdust, right? And that's like it's good high feeling and it's legal and you can get it online. But the low quality shit is kind of dangerous. So I go super expensive on purpose. I buy Super Speciosa, get superleaf.com, and just look up promo codes online to get certain discounts. Bulk 89, $89, $10 tax, and you get a full kilo of Kratom. I suggest the red Kratom because that's kind of a downer. It gets you nice and sleepy. I'm doing the red Mang Da because I was doing more red Bali at first, but the Mang Da kind of makes you sleepy more immediately. Like, and it's weird. Like, you don't think that kratom is gonna hit you that hard that fast, but if you take enough kratom and just like take it with your orange juice, that shit will hit you within like 5 minutes. It's real good. Like kratom is nice, efficient. Unlike alcohol, you can take like a 20-minute nap and then wake up and you're still like high on kratom. Like alcohol, if you try to take a short nap, it'll turn into a pass out. You will pass out for a couple hours. You will wake up either hungover or at the very least not as drunk anymore. When you take some kratom and take a little nap, when you wake up, you are just as high on kratom as when you fucking went down. That it's so nice for little midday naps. It's great. And also even for work. Like they suggest like the red that's more of the nighttime one, and your white and green kratom that's for like your daytime one. I took some white kratom. It's kind of nice. It's like a little cup of coffee. Uh, Green kratom didn't do that much for me until I just like mixed it. At a certain point, I was like, I'm not. I just want to eat this stupid powder and get it over with. At a certain point, it was like, I need kratom in me. So I just mixed it with the red and white kratom and just like made a big old hodgepodge and just like, drink that shitty powder. Drink that awful bitter powder. It all works to a certain extent. I just like the red more because it really has a little bit of a droopy effect. I really feel like a little bit of a stir. It definitely feels like a buzz, like a little bit of alcohol, but with the knowledge that it's not destroying my liver. And also no aluminum shavings. Because yeah, like I said, one is the ones that you get at like the store, at like a head shop, and maybe some other cheap shit. You'll get that sawdust consistency. This shit is straight like flour, like powder, like just it even makes it like hard to mix with water because like it's so light that it doesn't like sink into the water when you're stirring it around. But it's all worth it to know that I'm not ingesting aluminum shavings, knowing that I have very high quality kratom from Super Speciosa. Not sponsored content. I'm not. Ooh, surprise. I don't have any sponsors for this show. My stream is not popular at all. Um, so anime. I know that the title of this is Summer Anime 2021, but there is seriously nothing. I'm kind of awaiting more anime news, or at least for some of these to like subvert some expectations, because like none of them really pop out art wise. One of them that does kind of pop out art wise is this one, Shinigami Bochan to Kuro Maid. That's I don't remember what Bochan means, but Shinigami, of course, a god of death, and a black maid. Kuro Maid looks like the Shinigami is like a kid with a top hat, and the Kuro Maid is. I think I watched a trailer for this too. It's kind of like a cute relationship they have. It's like the maid is kind of like a tsundere, sort of like mean bitch, and he's kind of like an attempt at a kudere as a man, but he's like obviously not. Almost reminds me of like Eric Andre's character from Disenchantment. My God, though, I hate it when people like things. It's like, shut up. My cousin, she had like a sticker of Disenchantment like on her water bottle and on her laptop. That's another thing. Is like, why are you buying dumb merchandise from people who are making things for no reason other than to make money? I mean, at least Disenchantment had some sort of that Futurama feel to it that I don't even know who did that. I mean, I know Groening was involved, but was like David X. Cohen involved? I don't know the ins and outs of that. Who was actually making that one? Mike Reese, maybe? I don't know. Oh man, I'm hungry. Started streaming 57 minutes ago. Alright. This is my longest one yet. Alright. I might even, like, take a break and just smoke some weed. I might leave you with a good song, though. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave you with a good song and then go into the other room and smoke some weed. Oh no, that's a sad song. Good song, though. That's Not Her Way by Eels. Really good. I'm just going to start playing it while I look for other stuff. Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna look up the Eels song that y'all actually know. Because you might recognize this voice a little bit. Come on. There we go. You know this one? It's Feeling Mighty Fine, the song from Holes.
Feeling mighty fine at this time.
Yeah, I discovered them like completely independently of the whole soundtrack, even though I had this soundtrack when I was a kid. I discovered them later on as an indie band with that sad shit. But now you got this while I go smoke.
Walk down any street, ask the people you meet, what is it about this place keeps you on your feet? Feeling mighty fine at this time. Yes, I am. Feeling mighty fine at this time. Yes, indeed. Night is coming down, closer to the ground. Gonna have a little fun while I'm still around. Feeling mighty fine at this time. Yes, I am. Feeling mighty fine at this time. Yes, indeed. Don't believe the words they say to you when they are so absurd. Don't believe a word they say about me, because I'm feeling mighty fine. I think I gotta go. I think I'm gonna die. Oh my God, something's wrong. The end is coming near, because I'm feeling mighty fine at this time. Yes, I am. Feeling mighty fine at this time. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Welcome to the Disney Bundle, where Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus come to life on all your screens. Hulu Originals, Disney Hits, and must-see sports. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Get the...
Sorry, had to listen to that advertisement. Feeling mighty bad at this time. Kind of not feeling this bonk spot anymore. What the shit? Hey, phone, don't. Yes. Over here. Wall ride. Nope. I'm getting bored of this spot. Let's move slightly differently in Smuggle. I'm just gonna do something that I've never done in Sumago, you know, because that's a really entertaining idea for the stream. It's like a bad spot. So do you think for riders it'll actually like, you know, keep you zoomed to an appropriate level when you're doing that? When you're going into Mountain View, it'll just like zoom appropriately instead of doing that. Like, 'cause it's like I was just looking like right at my rider, right? And then it just says, nope. You wanted to be this zoomed out, right? I don't think those small things will be noticed. Those are like beta things, you know? Those are things people should be able to, like, say that aren't good. I just don't know what kind of influence the beta is going to have on the finished product. It seems like it's not going to do anything. I don't know. Let's check my Gmail real quick. See if I got any news from Ubisoft. Nope. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anything from Ubisoft. I will go to the Ubisoft website, though. Just real quick. So there are rewards in, well, definitely the Crew 2. I'm not sure if there are rewards in Steep for being part of Ubisoft Connect. I'm sure there are. Um, but in Steep, it doesn't matter, of course, because nothing matters. Like ski versus ski doesn't really do you any favors. In the Crew 2, it gives you a pretty nice Aston Martin. So I'm kind of hoping for the same thing in Riders, that they'll give us some pretty nice Ubisoft Connect rewards. I think the rewards for playing Steep are kind of like not enticing to me. It's like you get an emote, maybe you get a skin, and you get the exclusive gamer tag of someone who has played Steep. Alright, Flex Crazy Fine. Crime Bomb. Flex Crime Bomb. Level 13. 1 year with Ubi. 3 games owned. And I'm not sure if I immediately signed on with Ubisoft Connect when I started playing Steep. Steep, The Crew 2, and a little bit of For Honor. Yeah, moving again. Sorry. Just, I'm going for a long stream, not a good one. It's my day off. And honestly, I could not be happier about it. Like I was saying earlier, I'm sick of this constant doing. This constant, like, I don't know, man. I I truly do feel best when I'm not working. I think some people get a kick out of productivity. I don't feel it at all, man. Certain people get a kick out of it, and I think I have a different scale of what is productive. Like, if I'm bored at home, if I'm bored from watching too much MasterChef or whatever it may be, then I am a person who knows I'm like almost nomadic in a sense. Like I can go out and have fun just by myself, just doing anything. Just going somewhere and walking and listening to a podcast, walking my dog, something like that. Um, this past Sunday, I went to the recreation center and I jogged for like an hour. I jogged a little over 2 miles, and ooh, yeah, that was nice. And then I went to the pool after I jogged. Um, it kind of sucks though, cause like it being Utah, Sundays are like extra closed down, even worse than just pandemic stuff. Because like, and I've heard this all around. Like, for some reason, places are having a bad time hiring, which seems nuts to me because I have two jobs and at both of them no one does anything. I mean, especially the one where I work at the University of Utah. It's entry-level camera operator. You don't have to be um, a film degree person to be a camera operator. It's super easy. It's actually really useful information. I recommend that if you ever find a camera operator position, that you just go ahead and take it. Because the base level knowledge of like how to just record something off an SD card or like record something off a capture card from a camera to a computer, just a Blackmagic capture card or some other capture card of that sort of sense. Just getting that, being able to run like OBS. I'm not an OBS fan. They started me off on Wirecast, and Wirecast was actually a little bit more streamlined for the I would say it was streamlined for the education sphere because it was easier to group together your files and export them out in a way where all of them could be found at like a similar place in your desktop, and it was just kind of super easy to categorize them. OBS has more features, but I struggled to find like a surefire way to get your files as organized. Just like right off the bat, I'd say like, yeah, I could jump through some hoops and configure my OBS in a way that would be a little bit more streamlined, but just like the Wirecast, it never felt not streamlined. It felt like the second that you got used to Wirecast, you could upload 20 videos in like 10 minutes. You could just crank them out, just like really, and have them all just named exactly how you want them to be named. OBS, it was like you have to just record it and then find it and then rename the file afterwards. But just knowledge of that sort of shit is really good, and also just SD card capturing in general. I mean, people know that, but I think they don't know just how accessible editing their clips are these days. With DaVinci Resolve, I think like you could you could really do some stuff if you just have a plain old camera, an SD card, and DaVinci Resolve. And like I was saying, you may not even need the SD card if you have a capture card. If you're wired directly into your computer, then you can take the file, like straight the digital file straight from the camera and record it on your computer, and you don't even need to download an additional file from the SD card. The SD card will just be your backup. My dad bought SD cards from Amazon. I was kind of pissed. It's like, the state gives me a budget. I can do anything with it. I have like 10 SD cards that are 128 gigs. You could just use one of my SD cards. I have so many SD cards. It's like, don't give Bezos any more money for something I have a plethora of. I have too many SD cards. I have too much memory in general. Or too much, like, stuff. Because we started using these 4K cameras. I adjusted it so it's not in 4K anymore, but the files are still huge. Like, the files are so big that if you keep on recording for long enough, the files will self-separate into digestible little parts, which is not an issue for people using cameras as normal. It's a issue for people doing my sort of shit, when a lot of things I upload are 2-hour long lectures, and so I have to then, instead of just going straight from SD card to online, which doesn't normally happen anyways. You don't get to just upload things. You need to edit it a little bit most of the time. But you need to like download each individual part and then splice it together in an editing software. I really need to get you more used to DaVinci, because DaVinci's nice, but it's just a thing where you have to sit down and kind of practice those keyboard shortcuts, because I have it really down to a science when it comes to Adobe Premiere. I know all my keyboard shortcuts, and like for my purposes of editing, it's usually super duper duper fast. I did have like an actual challenge though recently when it came to editing. I did like 6 or 7 different interviews, and then instead of just making it one person per interview and just like uploading it simply like that after editing it, I had to like pay attention to the content of the actual interviews and like splice them together based on their what they were talking about, and kind of synthesize together cogent points. Oh, that looks nice. That is a nice rotation with just a nice, even untweaked safeties. I kind of love... It's weird how you go through these phases with grabs. Just like a leading safety like that, or... Okay, now I'm doing the tail grab. Let's try to get trailing safety. Yeah, that one's cool too. No, wait. Yeah, no, I was spinning to the right and I was doing a left-handed safety. So that's trailing, yeah. And that is... Okay, now that's nothing. I was going to try... going to the left and with the right. So I think that's a trailing with the right. I don't know, man. Trying my best. Aren't we all? wow, I'm sinking hard. I was like, might I make it to the rail? And then I just started sinking so hard. Oh man, I need to take a dump. Oh yeah, love that. Nice. Do it again. Oh no, I didn't do it again. I was trying to do tail grab to mute. Tail grab to mute is pretty classy. Pretty classy. Oh man. Yeah, I might have to leave you guys with another song as I take a dumperoonie. But the dumperoonie will last longer. So I need to have a long song. No! Stop just playing stuff. No, that's not long enough. And also, I'll take some copyright stuff from some other people. Not San Holo, though. Go look up San Holo on your own time. Great new album. Sure, fine. Just click on it. Just click on it, please. Just hurry up. Hell, I'm just going to keep that on the background just for me. Disco is back, baby. Disco is truly back. So, I went on a camping trip recently, and I guess I'll just have to tell you, like, most of the story, because just saying the disco part doesn't make any sense. So what happened was, we were trying to find a spot to camp, right? And we park at this spot. We're planning to hike in like maybe half a mile or so. And so the guy who drove us just decides, okay, we're here. We are at the camping spot. Therefore, it is time for me to take a couple mushrooms. So he takes a stem and a cap of mushrooms, and then we start hiking, and then it starts raining, and then it starts hailing, and we are not only in like a half a mile anymore. We're in like almost a mile at this point of just walking up rocks, finding no place that's soft enough or like dry enough for us to actually like camp on. And meanwhile, this guy is just starting his come up on mushrooms. I get sort of frustrated and just right there in the middle of the mountain, smoke them all. I just take my bong out of my backpack and start smoking. Oh, that was sick. Yeah, so I just kind of, that was my first inebriation of the trip. But, you know, moles aren't that much to me. Moles are just like the way I get tobacco, basically. The weed is just like an extra little perk. But, so this guy, he's on mushrooms already, and we decide this is not the place for us to camp. So, him being the driver, we're like, okay, we didn't think anything of it, because he just took a stem and a cap, you know, I can drive on a stem and a cap. And he wasn't even, like, fully came up yet, so it's like, he wasn't tripping. He was good to drive. But, so, after we, like, find actually a nice place to spot, like set up camp and shit, like, I made the right move, too. It was funny, because, like, they were all, like, planning to do 2 or 3 trips, and I'm just like, 1! So I was looking hella uncomfortable. I was looking rough. I was looking bad. Just carrying all my shit, and I was just, like, panting and dying. But I got there first, and they were like, well, we need somebody to stay here so we know where it is. It's like, yeah, that's me, dog. I'm smoking weed again. You go. I downloaded some podcasts. I'm gonna chill here. And that was my first alone moments. I had a lot of great alone moments on that camping trip. Like, not only was there some, like, dope friend times, but I had some awesome, just, like, smoking weed, going on a bender drinking, and just, like, chilling, listening to podcasts, tending the fire. I was the fire guy, for sure. I was always on the fire duty, making sure that shit was up when we got up and down when we went down. Because I was always the first one up, and also the last one to sleep. I don't sleep very much. But, yeah, so back to the story as a whole and the guy taking mushrooms. So, the guy taking mushrooms, he was driving me and my friend Toby. And, he was on shrooms during that, like, second search, the search for the second place. And then once we actually settled down in the place, they all made their trips and all, like, set up their tents. He's like, let's all take a stem and a cap. So we did. We all took some mushrooms. That was nice. So at this point, he's on 2 stems, 2 caps. Then, I think, like, as the night gets later, he's like, I'm determined. I'm going to stay up all night. He just announces that as he takes another stem and a cap. He's shouting that he's gonna stay up until the scare ball comes. The scare ball being the sun, like he's some sort of caveman afraid of the sun. So he was doing that sort of spiel all night about how he's staying up until the scare ball comes up. So he's basically just announcing in a very derpy way that he's not gonna go to sleep. And he did make that obvious. To his credit, he was obnoxious the entire time, and he made no promises to not be obnoxious. So, if the guy takes too many shrooms, like he did later that night, so after that third stamina cap, like we get some randos coming, right? We get some other people coming to our campsite who just want to chill because like their party ended too soon and they wanted to get drunk and high with people. And like within like 10 minutes of these randos coming to the campsite, this guy's offering them shrooms. And he gives them shrooms. And then he takes some more. He takes his fourth stem cap. So like at this point, he is dialed in. Like that four stems, four caps, like you are going to trip balls. Maybe not like balls, but you are going to trip after taking that many shrooms. Like you're not just gonna have like a fun little microdose. This is gonna be like a few hours for you now. This is gonna be like a thing. And yeah, from then I did end up taking another stamina cap. And at that time he did as well, so he was on like 5, maybe more at that point. I felt great. I was having it, man. I hadn't drinking in like a few days because I've been spacing that out a little bit more, not drinking every single day. And that like 4 days of just like throwing it all out the window, like I'm gonna get fucked. That was awesome. And then, like, at one point, while we were all just like, it was honestly the most vibing time of the night, but it was also the time when my friend Toby wanted to go to bed, and some other people wanted to go to bed, but the randos were still at our campsite. And a couple of my friends went into the tents even despite that. Like, they didn't really care about the randos. I think at a certain point, the shroom guy was the only one who cared about the randos. And he was, like, taking them to and from their campsite, like, escorting them. But, like, that meant that he had to find his way back to our campsite alone. And he was always the one spieling, like, don't go alone, don't go alone. And then it's like, he's the one who ends up tripping balls and alone. And I'm, like, out there, like, clicking my tongue. I'm like, I don't want to be out there at, like, 2 in the morning, clicking my tongue like that, bothering my friends who are trying to go to sleep. But I finally wrangle this guy, and we're just chilling. And we're listening to some disco music, and we're both just, like, vibing. Maybe the disco... the disco happened sooner. Disco happened sooner, because I remember everyone was vibing on the disco music. He played a disco song, I don't remember the name of it. But, because I didn't have any music downloaded on my phone, I just had podcasts, because I didn't expect that I would need music. But I wish I had some disco, because... motherfucker threw on some disco, and the randos, and the rest of the crew, we were all vibing with disco. Disco is definitely making a comeback. It is so... I think the reason why is that not only is it, like, fun, but it's all really well produced. Like, most of it is very hi-fi, and if you listen to it with, like, some good headphones, like, there's some work being put in. Ooh, like this right here, this is a sick bass line.
But yeah, at a certain point, me and Shrooms Guy are chilling. I'm trying to bring him down a little bit. I wish I had asked for more cigarettes from him. I kind of want to... I've been fucking craving some Marlboro 27s, man. He had 27s. 27s were my cigarette of choice back in the day of smoking cigarettes. Now I just empty American Spirits into the bowl of my bong. It's like I hardly ever smoke a cigarette anymore. But if I were to, Marlboro 27s are the tastiest little son of bitches. I love them. And they go fast, too. Like, I wouldn't smoke an American Spirit just, like, as a cigarette because they take, like, 20 fucking minutes. And it kind of sucks. Like, Marlboro 27s, you can kind of suck those things down in, like, 3 minutes. And even if there's some left over, it's like, ah, whatever. The end is usually kind of bad anyways. Like, with American Spirit, it's so packed in there that it's like, I don't want to waste this amount of cigarettes. I spent $9 on this pack of cigarettes. Oh, man. I'm sorry I suck so much at this damn spot. And I'm just kind of rambling about other shit. Oh, yeah, because I'm not done with the camping story. So, like, as I'm trying to, like, get this guy to come down a little bit, I'm feeling like it's working, because we're just chilling there, smoking weed, drinking a little bit. He's not taking any more shrooms at that point, so he's just on his ride at the whatever 5 or 6 that he took, which it's still just too much. And we were talking about like how good microdosing was, and how like you don't need to be like a child when taking psychedelics. You don't need to go balls to the walls and get yourself in a bad spot. That's stuff that like kids do when they want like an event. They want a big event to happen when they get high with their friends. It's like, no, I mean, if you are already having a chill conversation, you're drinking and smoking weed, that stamina cap is actually kind of nice. It's very uplifting. Just like, it's slightly euphoric. You don't actually... I think maybe towards the end of the night I got some visuals, but it wasn't big. But the guy, like, he seemed kind of calm once I was, like, ready to head to bed. And so I was like, alright, peace out, man. You wait for that scare ball there, but we're all trying to sleep. But he just keeps on, like, mumbling to himself, and it's, like, really annoying. And then he starts, like, saying shit like the most annoying stuff to be hearing as, like, because my friend Toby, he was, like, the first one to try to go to sleep, and then here's this other shroom head motherfucker at, like, 3:30 in the morning screaming shit like, Toby's the best! Toby is the best guy ever! And he has the best friends. We are the coolest group of dudes ever. And it's like, you don't even want to hear compliments from some annoying dude who's just, like, screaming as you're trying to go to bed. It's like you'd rather just... I don't know. But then him and Toby got in, like, a huge fight because the dude wouldn't shut up, and he kept on, like, mumbling shit like that under his breath until it, like, turned all of a sudden, and then, like, they were, like, in a legitimate fight, and then he started, like, setting up the fire again, but really poorly. He was, like, setting it up with, like, logs that were wet and obviously too big to use. And at a certain point, Toby went out of his tent and pushed him out of his chair. I maybe wouldn't recommend that. Pushing. I don't know if doing a hit, because it didn't help the situation. The hit did not help the situation. Doing a hit made it worse. He did a hit, and from then on, it wasn't two friends arguing. It felt like I don't know. It felt like just that the rest of it was just vengeance upon one another. Like it couldn't be remedied just like in that moment at all. Like friends fighting, it feels like it could be remedied in like the next 24 hours. This did not feel like that. This felt like weird energy, and it was not fun being around that energy. I mean, I didn't care that much. I was on shrooms. I thought the guy was being super annoying, but also, like I said, he copped to it. He was like, I'm going to be up until the scare ball comes. He was being the most annoying even while not tripping that hard. Oh, that was good. That was good. Love that bow and arrow. That was a good angle for the bow and arrow. Video paused. Continue. What? Why? Stupid. But then, after the physical violence happened, the guy, unbeknownst to me, his tent was right next to mine. I didn't hear this, but he packed up his tent and left. And in his car was like my hacky sack that I had just bought, and a pack of cigarettes that I just bought, and he actually took out the fishing rod that I had and just put it on top of the other friend's car, and we had to figure out a situation where it was like we had to pack shit in super, super tight to figure out how we were going to fit 4 people and all the stuff in the car. It actually wasn't that big of a problem, though. Most of the random stuff was in why was I even avoiding saying his name? Jesse's. He was the shroom guy. Jesse the shroom guy was in Jesse's car. I don't know why I said I said Toby 50 times, who is my actual friend, and then I kept on referring to Jesse as shroom guy. Fuck Jesse. I'm on the record. Flex Crazy Fun is telling you, don't trust any motherfuckers named Jesse. Don't. Jessica is a fine lady's name. Jessica, there's a wide array of Jessicas, but every Jesse is a piece of dirt. You suck, Jesse. I was also saying that about Hunter. Fucking Hunter from Sugar Rush Extra Sweet is like the worst host of anything ever. He sucks. He's not funny. He was like, and he was making jokes about cocktails, like, "Oh, save that bottle of tequila for me later." Like, you don't drink, Hunter. You're a fucking poser. You're a fucking poser, Hunter. God damn it. Yeah, Hunter is a shitty name. Only cool Hunter I've met is Hunter Bernstein. Oh man, I should stop saying people's names on this. Nobody watches. That's why I'm playing copyrighted music. I fucking love this song. But Hunter Bernstein, he was assistant instructor at Brighton Ski Resort with me. That dude, he ruled. He was actually one of the kids who was good at skiing. Like, there was a lot of us who were just, like, instructors to be an instructor and to have the pass and, you know, do that sort of shit. But Hunter, he was actually, like, a really, really good skier. He would do the competitions. I saw him do a double backflip just casually once. It was pretty nuts, that kid. He also did black tar heroin. But he also introduced me to mixing sriracha in with my fry sauce for onion rings. That was dope. We would get cheesy onion rings. And when I went to Brighton this past winter, they didn't have onion rings anymore. What they gave me was like an undercooked bratwurst. Brighton has gone so downhill. Like, it used to be very affordable to get a season pass. Like, to get a season pass at Brighton was maybe $250, $300. Now it's probably like $500, $600. And the alternative to that is a lot of people are getting the Icon Pass so they can go to multiple ski resorts. But as a person who just rides Brighton, I just want to ride Brighton. Like I'm out of the skiing practice in general. Like I haven't done it very regularly in a long time. So if I want to go skiing, I kind of want to go to a place that I know like the back of my hand, like Brighton. It's a lot more fun to just have, okay, six chairlifts. I know the routes on all of them, and I can just, go to spread myself out through those 6 different lifts throughout the day, and it's a fun time. But like, if you're going Snowbird or like any of these places that have gondolas, like the canyons and stuff like that, it's like you're not going to visit that whole mountain, and it's not going to be special when you do. Because at Brighton, you find things. It's like you have to kind of find the runs that you want off the beaten path. You find those backcountry runs that are like your little nugget of terrain. It's like your little patch. But like, it just feels like it would be too much of an undertaking to do that at like the canyons. And it's so much easier at like the canyons or Park City to just say, well, I'm at the canyons in Park City. The park is huge. The park, just like even riding in the ski lift next to the park, you can tell that the features are like 3 times bigger than what you find at Brighton. And not to say that Brighton isn't a good place for park rats. It definitely is. You find some loafty people there. Like your most like nose to the ground park rats are there. Like they're the ones who will find a tree out in the woods and like set up a jump for it to grind. Like that's some real park rats. And like builders at Brighton, they do take pride. The park builders, they're definite park rats themselves. The vibe at Brighton was just not the sort of vibe where you would be spending $120 for a day pass. It's insane that you are spending. That is exactly what it is. You go to Brighton with no season pass, no nothing, right? Just on a regular day. It will cost you $120 to get a day pass for that resort. And that's not to mention, like, you had to drive up there, you have to eat, and, like, brown bag is not allowed at Millie anymore. You used to be able to take a brown bag lunch, you used to be able to tailgate right by Millie. It's not a thing anymore. You have to actually buy their crappy food, which, like I said, undercooked bratwurst for $9. Thanks, Brighton. God, they really... They're not a locals resort anymore. It feels like they're just for tourists now. It's like, then where is the locals resort? All other resorts are even more expensive. I think Solitude is honestly the little nugget of, like, tourists go there, but they aren't the most annoying type of tourists. And also, it's a very chill atmosphere at Solitude, I feel. Brighton used to be so good. I loved that place, man. Like, working there before the El Nino, man, we were chipping away. We used to have to, like, dig ourselves into the office. There was so much snow. There was so much ice. We had to chip away with pickaxes just to go into the office. It was beautiful. That was like my first or second year when I was teaching there. And then third and fourth year just dries up. The whole damn valley. And it hasn't been as good as that one winter ever. It hasn't been that good yet. It hasn't gotten to that status yet. We've still been just like Like, this past winter was a total drought for the valley, and it didn't do that well in the resorts either. Like, I remember my last year teaching there, we were teaching kids through the mud. Like, it was just dirt that we were skiing on. It was gross. It's like there's no more snow for Utah. I mean, hopefully that'll be remedied at some point. I mean, I'm sure it's not as bad as it was that one season when we were literally through the dirt. But it just seems like it hasn't been amazing like it was. Like, we had, so there was the 6 lifts, right? But we also have a magic carpet, a little conveyor belt that brings the little kiddos up like a tiny, tiny hill. Whew, didn't feel so tiny when you had to dig the thing out of like 4 feet of snow. It was this huge stretch of uphill, and everyone was like, okay, we're not skiing today, guys. We don't get to ski before lessons. We have to undig this huge thing. It took forever. But it was also great, because, like, it was weird that the new kids coming in after that never experienced having to do it. Like, having to dig through snow just constantly. It was beautiful. And, oh, man, the amount of time we spent on buses that got stuck. That, it happens less frequently now, because, like I was saying, just not as much snow, and I think when I went up there, traffic wasn't too bad at all. People are going to resorts. They're not going to wipe down the chairlifts after each person. That sanitary thing is just not going to be considered. If you're going there, you're either vaccinated or you don't care. And I feel like a lot of people didn't. I mean, especially in Utah, people don't really care. And it was like, I was at the rec center, man. I saw this cute girl with tattoos. It's like, okay, cute girl, tattoos, more tattoos than I have, meaning she is probably more well off than I am. That's my goal. As a man, I want to find a woman who makes more money than I do. But at the same time, it's a person not wearing a mask, and I'm not wearing a mask, but I know that I'm vaccinated. But this person just might not care. I don't know, man. She was also like older than me, which I'm kind of into. I need someone who's like already got some shit figured out. Oof. Oh, but yeah, Jesse the Shroom guy ended up abandoning us in the middle of the night. And he was the one that drove us, so it was like a big, like, to-do. And not only that, but Toby was staying at Jesse's house, and was planning to stay there after we were done camping. So, it's like, for me, I was expecting, oh, I'm going to camp with my friend from out of town for 4 days, and then that'll be the end of it. It wasn't. Because this asshole left, I had to be the one to be like, yeah, Toby, you can stay at my parents' house. And it was shitty. Like, I did not expect to be hanging out with Toby for an extra 5 days. He's kind of abysmal to hang out with sometimes. He's very antisocial. He never came up once to, like, have dinner with my family or anything like that. Never really just had some small talk. It's like he was bound by a force field to my basement, and he just, like, wanted to chill here and, like, use it as his home base to smoke weed and drink more. And meanwhile, I was like, okay, after the camping trip, I was like, I had my 4-day bender. I do not want to drink anymore. And then he was like, I'm going to feel like an asshole if you don't drink at all. But I'm going to feel like an asshole if I make you drink. And I'm like, fine, I'll find some compromise where I drink a little bit. And I did, but it wasn't an important thing to me. It's like, to him, having that drink before going to bed was the only way to find solace. And I definitely had that at a certain point, and that's why not drinking all the time is hella good for you. It makes you not dependent on it. It makes it so it's like fun when you do it. And it's like, I can go to sleep now comfortably sober. I can just, sometimes, wow, I don't feel like taking Kratom. Yeah, Kratom is a drug that you don't always feel like taking. It's like, when you do take it, you can have some fun with it, but it's not like addictive in the same way that even weed is. Like weed, whenever I like take a break from weed and then start again, it's like, oh yeah, this is a thing that I do every single hour of every day. Like, that makes sense. It makes sense to me to be constantly high. And at that point, it's like, after a week of being constantly high, you just don't really feel it anymore. But, hey, it's my life, Mom. I'm gonna fucking smoke weed if I want to, constantly. But that's not how it is with Kratom. You can keep your tolerance level, like, super low by just taking it how you feel. And by feel, you can just take like a couple spoonfuls of this powder every like honestly 4 or 5 days out of the week. There's some days that I just don't really even feel like it. And definitely not always in the daytime. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to take it to go to bed, but not during the day. That's a big difference from alcohol. This is like, if I start drinking, I'm going to start drinking at like 9 a.m. Another reason why Utah sucks is because I can't get anything until 11. Horrible. Where's the separation of church and state? I can't get liquor on a Sunday. Why? Because it's the Lord's Day? The Lord decides like the rules for governance now? And also, like, it was a bad time because my cousin and aunt were also visiting. And my cousin was looking for places to live here in Utah. Because she's going to be going to the University of Utah, which is a terrible choice. And she's older than me. She's older than me, was never very good at math, and now she's trying to be a chemical engineer. And a chemical engineer is not even an easy bachelor's degree. Like, I know people who have been trying to get their bachelor's in chemical engineering for 6 years. Like, I got my film degree in 4 years because film is the easiest thing to get your degree in. Chemical engineering is an actual profession that's very difficult to do. People think I am a magician when I edit something. People don't know how long editing takes. I could tell them editing this video will take me 3 months, and they'll believe me, because no one knows what that means. I mean, you have a similar thing going on with chemical engineering, but the people who do know what it means do know what it means, and you don't. She was never good at math, and also, being someone who films these lectures for chemical engineering, I can tell you that most of the people are Indian exchange students. Not a white girl from Idaho who is dumb. I mean, she is, her middle name, lucky for her, is Ray, after her grandfather on her mother's side, I think. Not a grandfather that's related to me, but her grandpa Ray just happens to be the name of that bitch in the fucking Star Wars movies now. So going to university, she's gonna be like, oh, I go by Ray. Shut up! just so you can be like the dumb Star Wars girl who's like not a good protagonist for the series. I mean, it just baffles me as it's like why don't people understand what bad things are? I mean, spend your time on something that there are things that are good that are bad and you don't realize it sometimes. Like the Fast and Furious films, if you tell me it's like I'm binging all the Fast and Furious films, it's like hell yeah, man, that's a great way to spend your time. If you tell me I'm going to watch all the Star Wars films in chronological order, it's like that's not even a nerdy thing to do anymore. You're being so vanilla. That's fucking mainstream as shit. And they're not good movies by any metric. Trust me, I have a film degree. But yeah, she wants to go by Rey. And then like hopefully start a conversation about Star Wars with some other nerd. But the whole time it's like I feel like I was juggling two different house guests with like Toby. He doesn't have a car. He's in from out of town, and I want him to be able to go and have fun with his friends that he hasn't seen in a while. So I'm driving him around. I'm hanging out with people. But I'm also trying to hang out with my cousin and my aunt who are at my house, trying not to shun them. Meanwhile, Toby never sees them. These two people who are both currently in my parents' house just never seen each other. The cousin and aunt and Toby, he just chooses to not go up the stairs and have breakfast with us. He sleeps until noon or 1 o'clock, and just like, and when he wakes up, like by that time, everyone's gone out doing stuff, and it's up to me to be like, oh hey Toby, what's your plan for today? And it's like, oh, I'm hanging out with Billy. It's like, it was a constant thing that was really annoying. But I did manage to spend enough time, like, I had the family over, and I did do my prerequisite time with them. We ate dinners together, and we watched State of Play. Hey, that's a nice thing to bring it all the way back. Watch my very first, actually not my very first stream, probably like a week ago, where I was talking about State of Play with Russell Crowe and Ben Affleck. Yeah, that was a stressful week. But it was kind of nice to, like, have that full-on alcohol bender and then come from that and be like, okay, now I'm back in the real world. I'll drink a Mike's Hard Lemonade when I watch the UFC fight with my friends, but, like, that's it. Also, like, when I was watching the UFC fight, the dude lived out in, like, a canyon that was south of me. So it's like I was already south. I don't usually go farther south than I am in Utah. Nothing good happens out of going more south. You want to stay in the Salt Lake Valley. But I went down to Draper, and then we went into Draper Canyon. So it was like a half an hour drive. 20-ish minutes to get to the mouth of the canyon, and then 10 minutes of canyon driving. And canyon driving sucks. Canyon driving is like full of twists and turns, and sometimes you'll find yourself on like a really precarious looking slope. Like if I do fuck up with my car, we are going to die. We are going to be dying for the next like 15 minutes as my car rolls down this hill. It's gonna suck so much ass. We're both going to be paralyzed. Why are we doing this? I did enjoy the UFC fight, though, and seeing friends. Yeah, first party I've been to, post-pandemic. Oh my god, a person! I didn't see their name, but they're actually a higher level than me. This might be an actual famous person. Let's see if I can see his name. Oh, he's not there anymore. Reappear. Oh, no, he's there. Norclock. Huh. I wonder who Norclock is. Yeah, it's like I'm just gonna have a couple Mike's Hard Lemonades because I don't want to be drunk driving in a canyon. Oh, and also at that UFC fight, like Toby was given this spiel about like, oh, I might just stay at his place. I might just stay at his place after the fight's done. But like me in the back of my head, I was knowing like, okay, all of his weed stuff is here and his vodka's here. He's gonna have to come back. And he did. He did come back to my house for that very purpose, just to like smoke weed and drink vodka before bed. And it's like, I want to be done with him. I don't want to spend another night with him, because it's like, he's sleeping just like 30 feet away from me, and it's like I have to tiptoe around when I like to stay up really late. He likes to sleep. He's a sleeper for sure. Like, he will sleep from like 10:30 till like 1. Seriously, it's weird. Dude sleeps a long time. Oof. I actually meant to call our other friend about it, our mutual friend Nick, because he would like to hear the story about the guy on shrooms. I think he met the shrooms guy once. I always hated Jesse. I always hated that guy. He would just like, I just felt like he was undermining me. I felt like when I said something funny, he would like shrug it off and like say some sort of sarcastic bullshit to like undermine the funny thing that I just said. And it would confuse me and anger me, because I don't necessarily care if I'm hitting 100%. I'm not batting 1,000. I say jokes sometimes that are not good, but I don't want. I don't think every single thing I say is like there's room for feedback or like snarky comments about that. Like, I certainly don't do that. I certainly don't like just randomly call people out. It wasn't even like calling out. It was just like, yeah, sure, I guess. It was just like saying, just like things that I said that were just, that, you know, like I said, don't always land. But this kid, he would just, and he's not a kid. The dude was 32. I found that out during the camping trip. The kid, this guy's 7 years older than me. And he feels like every conversation is like a pissing contest. It's fucking lame shit. I don't need some shroom-addicted 30-year-old to tell me that I'm funny. What a fucking trip, though. He left his shrooms. That's another thing I forgot to say. He left them. When he left that night, he left the bag of shrooms, and nobody was taking them. And I was like, "Are you guys fucking serious?" I took a big old handful the third night there. Everyone was just like, it was weird too, because after that first night with the randos, like, everyone just wanted chill time. Like, the randos, yeah, they were unexpected. It's like, you never expect another group of campers to just come up and start chilling with you and like interrupt your night. But they were just like they were younger than us. They just came in and they started telling some bullshit stories, and, you know, they were kids. It was funny. But like, after that, everyone was just drained, and I was like, are we not partying still? Like, I rented this tent for 4 days, and there's a big old bag of shrooms here. I'm not going home early. In fact, I'm going to get, like, busted off my ass. I'm just gonna get insanely fucked up. Like, what are you guys doing? I was the one who came there like, oh, I'm gonna smoke hard weed and have some drinks. But no, I ended up getting the most fucked up out of all of them. It was like, they all ended up kind of pussing out and just being tired. It's like, yes, camping takes a certain amount of effort. But, like, we were in possession of so many drugs that we did not do. Because they were tired. And we couldn't find a blowtorch for the DMT. I probably wouldn't have taken the DMT. I was fine off shrooms. Anything that involves a blowtorch is like, we are not doing what Mother Gaia wanted. I mean, you say the DMT is like a natural thing. It's like, oh, good for you. So, to smoke this natural thing, we're going to need a blowtorch like a crackhead? No, thank you. Same with dabs. It's like, quit it. Do you need to get that much more high? Ugh. And I never really felt all that much more high from dabs. It just made my throat hurt more. Dab pens, maybe. I think dab pens were a little bit of a upgrade from what used to be. Because, like, you used to have the option of buying a $400 Volcano, which are nice, or buying an MFLB, which were all the rage when I was in college. Magic Flight Launch Box. I don't even think they make them anymore, but look it up, Magic Flight Launch Box. It's like a little tiny wooden box that had like a metal filament in it that heated up. Just like Ben Franklin and this filament shit. But that heated up filament would just like vaporize the most crystally outer shit that was on the outside of your weed. So you would vaporize all that outer crystally shit, and you would be left with this black stuff that we called ABV, already been vaped. And you could actually smoke that ABV again out of a bong. Which was kind of, it was gross, but, I mean, I'm smoking, like, 60% tobacco out of the thing anyways, so it doesn't really matter for me to smoke ABV. But both of my launch boxes stopped working. And they are probably the smelliest vape, because it is literally just, like, putting a tiny amount of weed in the miniature oven. You have like a little, or like putting a small amount of weed on like an open exposed light bulb filament is what it literally is. It's just a hot filament that just makes the weed smell, and you get like a little vapor from it. I'd say it was honestly probably the best vape for like, it felt more like smoking a pipe than any other vape that I've had. Because vapes with their dab carts nowadays just like hurt my throat so bad I can't deal. I did have a little toot of my friend's CBD. He had a CBD vape. And I had a little bit of that. Of course I didn't feel anything because it's some pussy shit. Who would smoke CBD? We were giving him shit for that, but he said it was good. He said he liked it. I mean, like, the thing is like, you can't give CBD any sort of review if you're on weed. It's like, there's no way you're gonna be able to feel that. I heard of this thing called Delta 8. What the fuck is Delta 8? Like, a Delta 9 is a compound of... I looked it up. Delta 9 is a common cannabinoid compound that is the thing that creates the euphoria of a high. And Delta 8 just doesn't have as much euphoria. Apparently, but it's like a step closer to weed. So CBD basically does nothing. Then this Delta 8 also basically does nothing, but it does give you the munchies? Apparently? And it sounds worse. Delta 8 sounds like some experimental drug shit. Like, what is Delta 8? That sounds sketchy as fuck. But apparently it's just like a slightly less pussy version of CBD. I don't know why we're all... Like, what is this gravitation towards fake weed? Weed is like the least effective drug as it is. Like, once you form a tolerance to weed, it doesn't affect you at all. Like, if you just smoke once per day... I personally smoke like a dozen times per day, at least. So my tolerance, if I go off and then back on, is going to shoot up super quick. But if I were to go off and then start smoking once per day, then I could keep my tolerance for a reasonable amount of time, maybe a couple months. But you do still gain that tolerance, and you do still need more and more and more to be able to sustain that. So it's weird to me when it's probably a bunch of like queer-ass millennials. They're just like, oh man, I'm not a kid anymore, I can't smoke actual weed. I need to smoke Delta 8 so I can be there for my kids when we go to the farmer's market. And I can put my hair up in a man bun. And I can buy corduroys from that guy who sells corduroys, fishing equipment, and old Rocky movies on Blu-ray from the flea market. Like, that's the kind of person who smokes fucking Delta 8. It's actually, like, it doesn't debilitate you or make you paranoid like weed can. And that's another thing, it's like, since when? Since when are you paranoid of weed? Are you fucking 14 years old? Is your mom and dad gonna bust you for smoking weed? I mean, like I've said, I live with my parents, and I do constantly smoke weed in their house. Once you're a certain age, they don't really say much. And once there's a certain legality to weed, it's like, hey man, this is healthier than what you're doing. But then they even subverted that, and apparently my mom has not had a drop of alcohol since October of last year. I'm like, no! I have nothing over you! I have nothing over you! You haven't been drinking at all? Yeah, my mom just pulled like a fucking Kobayashi Maru on me. And it's like, I haven't been drinking ever. It's like, what? And, like, because my mom stopped drinking, I was like, my dad will only break open wine on special occasions, so I can't just take some pulls. I used to just pull wine. Just, like, immediately when I woke up. You wake up, let the dog out of the kennel, give him some food, and then just pull wine. It hurts. Let me tell you. Being an alcoholic and drinking anything but just vodka is very debilitating. And land forward. Nice. That was nice. That was pretty lofty. Ugh, people at this damn spot. I don't love the damn spot. It's kind of fun to show like new people it. But honestly, I've never been too great at it. I only like the fact that you can get like 90s off of it sometimes. Like weird counts of rotations. Let's see if I get one. 1980. No, that's just an 1800 with a 180 on it. 1620, that's also a normal one. It's weird to me that this is considered disco. This doesn't feel like disco to me. It is a bop. This is like, I don't think I've heard this bridge of the song before. Maybe just hear the choruses of these songs. You don't always hear like the breakdowns and stuff. Oh, and that wasn't a bridge. That was an outro. Interesting how songs used to be constructed. I really like writing out drum music, drum sheet music, because in drum sheet music, like, there are some standard things, but mainly you just need to follow your own rules. It's not like guitar tablature where there's like a very set set of instructions, or like in music how there's the bass clef or whatever. There's no like drum clef, and yeah, there's really not a proper way to write it out. I will personally write any ostinato as an X. So like most musical notes are like a line and then a filled in circle, right? You can imagine that like a musical note. Instead of the filled in circle at the bottom, that would be just an X, just the letter X. So that would be your ostinato, and for me that would mean anything that I do as the regulation with my right hand. If you're left-handed, then the ostinato would be played with your left hand. But so that X, I think as learning it, I learned it as the X stood for like cymbals, your hi-hat, your ride, your crash. But in my own writing style of writing out the drums, I just use X as any ostinato, because it can be confusing when you're just like, okay, what the fuck? That was great. Fun little glitch. Because when you're writing out an ostinato that's meant for whoop, 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 the tom, the floor tom, it can look kind of weird when you're just populating the thing with just solid notes. So I just kind of, on the top line of anything that I'm writing out with the drums, I'll write out the ostinato first, just using X's. And that also helps with, you got to write down the ostinato first, or else you won't really be able to picture in your mind's eye where the notes go. Because I was like playing a tune in my head, and I was like, I need to write this down, because I don't know whether I'm hitting the snare theoretically. I wasn't actually sitting down at a drum set, I was just at my desk. But I was just like, am I hitting the snare on the and or the Am I hitting it at one E and or one E and And I needed to kind of write it down to figure out what I was doing. And I was doing like a classic 1 to 4, I think. I can't remember in the rhythm one which one it was, but it was 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and something like that. Now I'm listening to a song, so it's like hard to picture what I was doing. I was like, I'm gonna I had the eighth notes going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 2. Oh, and yeah, the ending too can also be changed. Whereas like fuck. Oh, no, I'm messed up now. 1 E and 2 E and. Oh yeah, 1 E and 2 E and. 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and with the right hand 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Something like that. I don't know, man. I would need to find the piece of paper that I wrote it down on. But it's really fun. It's really fun, and you can get really, really wacky with it when you're able to write it down. That's something that I learned like in a band setting. It's really easy to just like hear what the guitarist is playing and then play some sort of thing that matches it, right? But it's almost too easy, and it's not fun at a certain point, because it's like in every band that I've been in, I've been the most like practiced one. I've been playing the drums since I was 7, and most of the time I'm just playing with some guitarist who played it up because they thought girls would like it when they were like 14 or something. So I'm most of the time playing with people who are a lot less experienced than me. Drummers and also bassists tend to be like the most experienced ones. But you have to watch out for bassists because they're like so flighty, and they think that just because like they stand further in front of the stage than like the drummer, that they have some sort of like vital role that like, oh yeah, our dumb friend Brian can't figure out how to play the bass at all ever. It's like, no, our friend Brian can totally play the bass, you idiot. So stop being a cunt and just play the fucking song. You're not the star of the show. That's usually the goddamn singer. Like, you don't sing. You're like the ugliest one of us. Sorry, bud. The bassist is the shittiest one. Like, I may not be attractive, but you look at me and you're like, oh yeah, that guy's like either a drummer or a camera operator. And it turns out I'm both. I'm either a camera guy or a drummer, and I am both of those. I look like that. Bassists will have the wildest looks. Bassists will just are in a different universe where they think I'm a dude named Stacy and I'm going to have pink dreadlocks. What the fuck is wrong with you? You are nothing to this band. It's nothing. Bassists. Fucking Christ. Like, people are impressed when I do shit on the drums. Like, you have to listen with some good headphones to actually hear what you're doing. Like, in a live concert, you are not pulling anything. You are not pulling any of this weight. So that's why, like, in my experience, like, drummers and bassists should share this similar language. But I've just encountered some fucking egomaniacs when it comes to the bass. They're all insane. Guitarists aren't that much better. Also, like, because I look like such a, like, drummer, pizza guy, piece of shit douchebag, people don't think I can sing at all. But I can fucking sing like crazy. Are you kidding me? People just... It's hard to sing and play the drums, so I don't often do it. I'll usually just do backups if I do it. It's really hard to do. But, like, yeah. I don't know. People assume just off of looks that I'm not a singer, and it's weird to me because I assume that everyone is a singer because singing comes so naturally to me. Because, like, yeah, it's like all you have to do is, like, open your mouth and say the words. Hush now, let's go quiet to the park where it first started. Cold nights, us lying in the dark. I felt my heart was trying to find a place for you to stay, a place where I'd feel safe. Anything we have known, anything we forgot it. In the rain, In the dark we lay, in your arms I'll stay. Yeah, so singing is easy as fuck. What's that, Now I've got you in my space, I won't let go of you. I've got you shackled in my embrace. I'm not. Oh wow, that was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. That was flat as fuck. I've got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching on to you. Yeah, because he goes from falsetto to regular voice there, but I just decided to go into it flat or sharp or some shit. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that I was good singing for like 10 seconds and then bad singing for like 2 seconds. I was baiting you. It was a bait and switch, and I'm so terribly sorry. I'm so captured, got you wrapped up in your touch. Feel so in your bed, hermited within your clutch. How do you do it? You got me losing every breath. What did you give me to make my heart beat at my chest? I'm very close enough. Can I let you love? I feel we're close enough. Could I lock in your love? Now I've gotten you in my space. I won't let go of you. I've got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching onto you, baby. Oh, baby, latching onto you. Oh, baby, latching onto you. I'm not even paying attention to the game, guys. If you see me just doing horrible... I haven't even gotten a rotation in like the past 3 tries. I'm so very bad at this game, and especially at this spot. Please. Oh, I'm getting the rail. I'm getting the rail. I'm getting the rail. Now I've gotten you in my space. I won't let go of you. I've got you shackled in my embrace. Impressive number of lines. Sex by the fire at night. Come down, all night. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. That's another one of those, like, oof. Very high produced. Go listen to some Bruno Mars with some good headphones. Some good headphones. I'm not talking those fake AKGs that came with your Samsung. Because those are fake and they're bad. Samsung has been using dog shit. Samsung has been giving you crap. Go out and get some Easies. Even like a not bad way to go is to just spend like a good chunk of change on wireless headphones. Like a good $50-$60. Because they're going to be better than the ones that came with your phone probably. And honestly, a lot of them are better than AirPods. Even though AirPods have usually better microphone, they're more tried and true. But you don't get you don't get that amplitude that you can get off of a wired from the aux cord. And you don't get the range, like the very wide range of sounds. And it's not like in your ear enough. Even with the newer ones, like the Easy Pros that I have, or the EKZ, whatever one Dank Pods. Go look at Dank Pods' videos, and they're like $20 for like these pretty good like starter set of like $20 headphones. They're they're a wraparound style, so they wrap around your ear and then go in with the bud. So it's like super duper in there. It's a lot more in there than the new AirPods. It's really ergonomically suited for the ear. And once they're in there, they're in there. They're good and snug. They noise cancel a lot just from the mechanical values that has. Like these, right now I'm wearing my AKGs that I got with my Samsung because the other ones that I got didn't have a microphone. Yeah, this is my only one with the microphone. I gotta do something better than just streaming off of the PlayStation's thing, because like I said, I have the equipment to do this. I have good microphones at the office. I just don't know how to do that using the equipment that I have here, and I don't have this game on on Steam. I don't know how to hook up my PlayStation controller to my laptop if I were to get it on Steam. It's just too many stopgaps, and it's so easy to just throw on broadcast mode using the PS4. I honestly can't wait for Riders, man. To do this with Riders instead of this. Maybe I'm just upset with this spot and the spots that I've gone to today. I also don't want to like. Maybe I can like smoke another mall, and then like have that be an interstitial changing. But I don't even feel like going to the Alps right now. I don't even really know what I feel like doing in this game. And I mean, maybe it's at the point where I have been playing for like 2 hours on stream almost. Come on. Come on. And I might just stop. I might just stop. I do not know. Sex by the fire at night. No pain and strawberries. Champagne on ice. Lucky for you, that's what I like. Treasure, that is what you are. You're my golden star. And to make this wish come true, and to let me treasure you. And let me treasure, oh, oh, oh. I know this is getting so boring. I'm just gonna do something else. And I'm getting hungry. Nope to whatever that is. Is this the Natchez Park? I've been kind of like looking for the natural park that they did for Backcountry Brawl. But, I mean, I could just like go to the video of Backcountry Brawl and see what they said and kind of find it immediately. This is just, you know... Okay, what do I want to do? Wait, was that a discoverable spot? Or was that outside the map? Because I will take anything right now. That was outside the map. Oh yeah, now we're in Korea. Korea... I don't want to do this either. Let me treasure you. I played that once. First time I heard it actually was during a drum lesson. Me and my teacher would sometimes actually try and do like this week you're learning the percussion stylings of the samba. This time you're learning the mambo. We went through world beats a lot, which was very fun. but also there were some days that it's just like, let's just jam. Let's just chill and jam. And Treasure, like I was a teenager, right? So I was like, oh, Bruno Mars, that's that popular guy. Oh, I don't like Bruno Mars, this shit's gay. But like, Bruno Mars is kind of fucking fantastic. And once you fucking learn how to play the drums and jam to Treasure, it's like you will find out that that man is actually a musician to pay attention to. He's like really fucking good. His music is really, really well produced. And that used to be a thing that I didn't care about, Like as a kid, I was like, oh, the music just has to be good. The content of the music has to be good. But it's like, nah, I do care about like good production value in songs, and like when a song can make the sound go from the left to right ear and have that as like a big component of the artistry, like it is really entertaining to have that aspect. Like one of the bands I used to be in was a punk band, and it's like we came at the tail end of the third wave of SLC punk. Like by this time, like you already had people completely diverting away from what SLC punk originally was. The main people in the punk scene were straight edgers or pirate punks. They hated each other because pirate punks, as the name sounds, is like they were just like badasses and like ruffians who were just like, their music was always very bad and it wasn't produced at all, and they were just like so into the scene that like just like getting fucked up at these shows was the scene to them. So the quality of the music just kept on going down and down. One of the bands was named Drunk as Shit, and they would just perform drunk as shit all the time, and it was almost unlistenable. Other bands that were straight edge fell into like a couple different categories. There was ones that were edge core, like straight edge core, and they would do hardcore music, hardcore punk. That I never even bothered learning how to play. We never even tried. It was like we tried to be like Green Day. It's like, fine, we'll be like Rise Against, because that actually has some music artistry to it. Like fucking, some of those hardcore bands were bad. Even the straight edge ones, like even the ones that had all their wits about them, they just sucked. They made bad music. But like then there's the pop punk contingent, and bands like mine were honestly kind of rare. It was kind of rare to have us be so directly pop punk. Like my guitarist, singer, the main guy of the band, he was a huge Green Day fan, and so we ended up sounding like more pop punk than even the most pop punk people there, and it was pussy shit. Oh, right now I'm wearing one of the shirts, Problem Daughter. Problem Daughter is a band that still is kicking in Utah. They rule. And they like made some really good pop punk music. They like really, really good. And some of it was even decently produced. But everyone else in the scene just seemed to not care about their recording conditions. They didn't care how good it sounded as long as it made it to tape, and then they would charge you $10 for the CD. It's like you didn't even like try and perfect this. It was dog shit. I'm using that qualifier for a lot of things in these streams, just calling things dog shit. This is a universe of this sucks camel dicks. What does he say? God, I love Step Brothers. One time, I got really high, and me and my friend watched Step Brothers, and then after we were done, I was like, do you want to watch Step Brothers again? And we did. It was great. We just watched Step Brothers twice in a row. It's such a good movie. Oh, wow. I meant to not hit any of those grinds, by the way. It's almost noon. I'm loving today though. Like yesterday, I opted out of going to work and felt kind of bad for it. But I honestly was feeling shitty. I had headaches. I'm still getting those stupid headaches. I hate them so much. And yeah, it's like not correlating with anything. Pisses me off. It's like one time it happened where I was like, oh, I'll have a little drinky poo tonight. I'll have a little drinky poo before bed, and that'll be nice. That'll be nice and fun. Like I said, I'm not like getting hammered all the time anymore, but I just wanted a little drinky poo, right? I like a couple sips in, my head just starts beaming. Like I start crying uncontrollably. My eye is watering, my nose is dripping. It's just like the right side of my face is just atomic bomb, like piercing spear through my head. And that just happens for like a half an hour, like right before I'm about to go to bed. It's like, what the hell? I'm trying to sleep. But the same headache keeps coming back. And it happened twice. No, it only happened once yesterday. It happened twice the day before. It happened one bad time yesterday, and it was right before I was going to go into work. So I was like, hey guys, I can't. And that actually, it didn't end up being that good for me. Like, you would think, like, oh yay, I got the day off of work now. It's like, oh, it's like I never had work in the first place. I didn't have to go up to the U and park my car and do all that shit. But at the same time, it did feel like it was wasted time. It was wasted energy having to text my boss, and then like I did waste the time anyways because like I had to go into the darkest room in my house, no windows or anything, just because my eyes are so sensitive to light when it happens. And yeah, I just had to like I wasted the time anyways, you know? I wasn't able to do any video game streaming. Nothing like that. Didn't play any video games at all, really. I did watch a Miyazaki last night. No. Look at me, basic bitch over here, just referring to any Studio Ghibli as a Miyazaki. Yeah, I'm an idiot, guys. I'm some idiot that just thinks any fucking Studio Ghibli movie is a goddamn movie! I'm a fucking idiot. No, this one was directed by Yoshifumi Kondo. And by that you know that it's A Whisper of the Heart. Whisper of the Heart is the only directorial outlet for Yoshifumi Kondo. He was a storyboard artist until he was able to do this one project solo, A Whisper of the Heart. It is so good. And it doesn't really have any, like all the other Studio Ghibli films have like a lot of high fantasy elements to them. This one was very subdued. And it, like the most amazing part of it was the backgrounds. The backgrounds were like so meticulously like detailed, and the textures where they used watercolors to do most of the textures, it just looked so good. And like it took days to do just the backgrounds. And it was so cool. It was so good. And like comparing that to like, you know, your Spirited Away, it's like you have a fucking dragon. Like the background isn't going to be the cool thing. It's the foreground. It's like, and that is your subject matter. That is the cool thing. But in this, it was like so much setting. It was made in 1995. And like I said, it was the only directorial outlet for Yoshifumi Kondo as he passed away thereafter a few years. Though the movie was like did have like a spiritual sequel in The Cat Returns. Like a major part of this film was um, the main character Shizuku, and she finds like this antique shop where the guy is a guy who like fixes up old antiques, and one of the antiques is like super special to this old guy, and it's just like a figurine of a cat that has like a little hat and a cane, and it looks exactly like the cat from The Cat Returns. And the girl Shizuku is actually like she's an author. She's like a poet, and she kind of writes this sonnet about the cat and his lost lover, which actually does happen to be the backstory to the cat. The cat was not made as a solo figurine. There was another cat that was supposed to go along with it. So, like in that sense, it just has like coincidental magic. It has Forrest Gump magic. It has like, oh, isn't that a sweet little coincidence? So yeah, not high fantasy like all the other Miyazakis. But so good. So very good. And it's honestly, I was looking for a Miyazaki to listen to in Japanese. Because a lot of Miyazakis, you definitely want to listen to them in both. Because they will have famous people as the voices. Sometimes. But I wanted to listen to one in Japanese. And I think this one definitely lends itself better in Japanese. Just because they... another point of the story is they try to translate the song Country Road into like a suitable Japanese like lyric to it, like country road, oh, take me home oh, to the place where I belong, oh, West Virginia. It was obviously they like actually they'd say try to do like a little like a reimagining of the lyrics, but it's all like those syllables don't match. Those syllables match even worse than what I just did. Just adding ooh to everything. West Virginia ooh. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. In my dick hole, I sound the pencil. I put the tweezers in my penis. Funny story, Toby's little brother, it's so funny. It's like I barely even know the kid. It's something that happened to him like probably 15 years ago. The Toby's little brother shoved a piece of pencil lead up his penis once. And like I don't even know the kid anymore. He lives in Oklahoma, and it's like I don't know him. All that I know about Toby's little brother is that he shoved a pencil lead up his dick once, and he had to go to the hospital. Oh God, that is the worst. Oh no. This isn't even... I'm again just really not paying too much attention to this as I am talking. Ooh, that was a cool gap to disaster. Lofty. Dubflatsev. Wait, it said grind. I didn't grind anything. It said this was Dubflatsev. Well, I did start Switch, but then buttered. Dub 9 then? It kind of looks like a kangaroo. Yeah, I'm just going to call that a kangaroo. It's a Dub 9. I don't know, man. And those are also things that I wish they had. Like, you call in the double Wildcat a Super Cat. So why can't we just get the kangaroo flip named in here? Sounds like pussy shit to me. No operation. Off. Remaining 4 minutes. My TV is going to turn off because I've just been playing this so long. I think the last episode of Super Cub comes out today. And yeah, okay. The title of this stream is Summer Anime 2021, and that is honestly the least of what I've been talking about because there isn't any. There isn't. Spring was pretty decent. We had some sports. We had some cute girls doing cute things in Super Cub and Let's Mega Mug 2. Super Cub is so nice because I've also recently gotten a new car, and I totally identify with the chick. Oh my god!